for the 5 o'clock, the third and final one here, and we have a very special guest, Raul Arteaga, Mercedes alum and Iowa Wesleyan defensive back. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, yeah, former. I will. Fortunately, I won't be able to go back this semester.
Okay. All right, man. Well, just as well. I know your time there. You got a pretty good little resume, but we'll get to that here a little bit, man. So, just chat us up. How's summer been going, man? For you through the ups and downs of COVID and all that. Just how you been keeping busy.
Yeah, man. Well, it's been it's been a ride. It's been kind of like a long summer, but yeah, no. All I've been doing here is just being at home, just being with my family here. Just helping take care of my siblings, helping around the house, and going to work, and that's all I've been doing. Yeah, with this hurricane kind of hit us kind of hard. We got like three trees that knocked over in our backyard, so we've been trying to do all that. We still got to cut the grass, but other than that, I mean, it's I've just been with my family, enjoying my time, relaxing, getting workouts in, going to work.
Yeah, and understandable, man. I know the valley got hit pretty hard, and especially in that area there. So, other than trees and everything, everybody doing good?
Yeah. No, other than that, thankfully the trees, none of them, fell on the house. They all fell the opposite way, which is we're really relieved on that.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I hear you. And just as we've been talking about, man, you come from Mercedes, a very traditionally rich football program, man, and just the state of fall sports and everything, man. Just what you take on it, how everything's being handled. How the UIL's been doing things. Giving the go ahead for 4A down and 5A and up have to wait and stuff, and that falls under the vein of Mercedes. But just overall, man, just how you seen everything being handled, and what's your take on it?
Well, the way it's been, the way it's been handled is I don't know. It's kind of tough because as an athlete, I understand. We want to like kids. Want to play, and I'm not like the Valley. The Valley athletes are. Everybody's really on coming up. But the more I don't know. I see the more sports that go on, as the years kind of go on too, you see more athletes, going to D1 schools or D2 schools, big schools getting really big athletic opportunities and academic opportunities as well. But I know, like at the same time, I understand too, it's for the safety because I'd rather, I don't know, I just see what they're doing, helping looking after the family, especially in sports because we're close to other people, interacting with other people, and somebody gets sick, then that can be like the whole team. It can spread rapidly, but I don't know. It's a very tough situation. I see what they're why they're doing it and all that, but at the same time, like it'd be nice to see them play so that way for those who aren't getting put out as much as others, it would give them an opportunity to show what they got and, maybe even go to a small school. Cause, something like me, that's kind of what happened with me. I went to like a little small school, D3 school, but, if the kids are able to play, they'll be able to expose themselves and all that. But like I said, there's UIL, pushing the season back, I see it. It is. Right now. I mean, hate to say it, but kind of like it is what it is. Right now we can't really do anything, just only because what's been going on. But that's just the way I see it. That's how I feel about that.
Yeah, and some of the districts, have you seen? They've split into actually zones now, especially some of the bigger districts. So
Yeah.
I mean, and just kind of creates competition. I was talking to Porter coach Carlos Uresti the other day, and he kind of just talked about how districts are being broken down, and it kind of felt like it created more competitiveness playing games, things like that. Teams actually playing for playoff spots. Moreover, so I mean, just what you take on that? I mean, it's a different kind of a take zone play, but teams, you get a district championship game, and you get to play for a spot, overall. So just what's your thought on competitiveness in zone type play?
I think that's cool because you get schools, where obviously like big cities, right? They have like a bunch of different schools, but you also get to see how the smaller communities are doing next door to each other too. You get to see just how like their athletes just playing, just being able to to just show what they do, how they've been preparing for the season and all that. So I think that's new, and like that's a really cool twist to the season that I'm really looking forward to see how it plays out. But I honestly, it's really cool because you get like this a little bit more competitiveness, because if you really can't lose, so many games, you can't lose much, because if you do, then that's a playoff spot, or like you said, that's a spot you lose out for the district title, But it's going either way. It's going to be very interesting. I'm like everybody else, looking forward to see how it plays out and see how see how the schools do, see how teams do.
Yeah, well, let's move along here. Talk a little bit about you, man. I know, just talk to me about your time in Mercedes. You talked about how you were able to parlay some of that into a small school, college. But just reflecting on your time in Mercedes, man. Just what was it like playing over there? Especially in a town like Mercedes, everybody talks about Mercedes whenever they talk about Valley Powers. Several schools are mentioned. One of them Mercedes, man. Just to be in a neighborhood community like that for football, just what did that mean to you back in the day?
Oh man, it means a lot. It still means a lot right now because I got two little brothers who are, one's getting ready to play junior high, and the other one, he still plays like league football type of. But to me personally, it means a lot. Like it's humbling, knowing that you came from the program that I came from, especially being able to play with with great athletes, man. Like and so like the twins, and we play with Zach, not to mention like our linemen, everything's just we're just very I would say that are very athletic, very fun. It's we were always very competitive. We knew the only way we would get better was to make each other better. And I feel like the coaches there, Roger, he does Coach Adami, he does a great job getting the competitiveness out of everybody, wanting everybody to be better, but not just for ourselves, but also for the team, because like you said, there's a winning tradition, and he just finds ways to keep the tradition going, and it's very humbling, very humbling. Proud of it. Very proud of it.
Yeah, what was it like playing for Coach Adame? One of the really well-respected coach in the Valley. A lot of people know him. Pairing him with that program. Just what was it like playing for him? He said he was able to get the best out of you guys. Just what was it about him?
Oh man, just he's one of those guys who one of those coaches who not only, and like I said, he don't only think about the coaches and the coaches feeling, but he also thinks about the sides for us as athletes. And he's very on the sideline, very energetic, very energetic. He's one of those, like I said, he will get the best out of you even during game time situations. When as if it's a close game, we know we need a big defensive stop. He challenges us. Like, come on, guys. He'll give us a talk, but we all know, like, it's just to we all know what he wants from us, and what he expects from us, especially all week of practice. He preaches nothing but Levin has to the ball, everybody there. Very smart, especially when we watch, we go on to watch film, and it's just like he just wants everybody to be engaged, and that's really what I feel like separates him from a lot of coaches is his not only, him getting the competitiveness out of us, but also, teaching us, hey, about the game more, making sure we know what our assignments are and, how to get there.
Yeah, for sure. And going back, talking to about some of the athletes you play with, you mentioned the Twins, you mentioned Zach there. What was it about these guys, and who was some of the, who's some of the favorite guys around you that were on some of the teams? Chat me up there.
Like on the team, like the other guys on the team.
Yeah, just who are some of your favorite guys to play with and why?
Honestly, all the guys, everybody, the whole team, not only just my later years, my senior year, but also the guys that played against or played with, my freshman to sophomore year when I got there. But honestly, the one guy who would really like. It was always like a battle. It was always Matt. Me and Matt. It was every day. It was just who's gonna be better that practice. There's days we have back and forth days, or one day Matt would be Matt would be mad, get the better of me, say all right, like give you that. Like there's days where I had Matt locked down, and he'd just be like, damn, like man, you got me, like you did good today, man. And those days where we just back and forth, it's just like everybody would be like, oh, just really watching. But Matt, with us, our thing was, like I always told Matt, I want to go against, I would always want to go against Matt one-on-ones, because everybody would say, well, Matt's like the best one, like one of the better receivers on the team. One of the best receivers coming out of the Valley. So what our thing was, we were just like a iron sharpens iron mentality. That's what we really did. But going back to the quarterbacks too, Mark and Zach, they challenged me a lot too, because they tried looking me off. I would even look them off sometimes, during practice, getting the best of them, just showing them, hey, like I can do the same thing too. And it was just real fun. Like it was real fun. Richard and Joe, man, when they played my sophomore and junior years, going against them was pretty fun. Also, guys like, Brandon Gutierrez and Raul, then it was pretty fun. Even Martinez, Martinez was, really good too. He they would get, they were older than me, but they would, I would tell them, hey, nah, like I don't want to back down from nobody, like if, I know what this game is, and hey, if if you're good, then come on, let's go. It's a one-on-one thing, and they say, all right, come on, let's go. Like we would, we're helping me out, we would help each other out. It was fun, like fun. Bunch of guys. Every day it was always like I said, just competing, always competing, not only for ourselves, but also, to, like I said, we would get the best out of each other, and we really would. And, like we would always go around, so during 7-on-7s, we went to the state qualifiers and stuff. And oh man, that really just brought us even more as a family too. So we were all really close. Defensively, everybody was, like I said, everybody was pretty cool too. You had like our linebackers, Brian, Eric, George. They all, man, really, really good guys, really good friends, really great players. And we would, challenge each other too during game times. Like, hey, like, come on, let's go. Like, if something, wasn't working, we would, yeah, coach would tell us. But also at the same time, during the games, we would come up to each other and say, hey, look, like we're seeing this, from different positions. We would say try doing this, try doing that. Like, all right. Secondary wise, Ivan Vela, man, that guy, like, brother to me too. He really, really good. Everybody, really good, athletic, funny, like good. We always be talking, have each other's backs on the field, especially because for most part he was, the same safety on my side. So if he would see some, or if I would see something, out of my position, I would look at him and I'd be like, hey man, look, like, this is what's going on. Say receiver, a certain receiver is, in a different area, like we catch on to it on film. And I would look at him and I would say, all right, like, watch this, or, if something happens, just don't worry about him. Like if he comes out, like I'll go pick him up, just things like that. Just knowing, the routes, what's going on around. And I feel like that's really what made us different. Like we're all a family. We all didn't just see each other as, oh yeah, like, uh, yeah, we're just teammates. Yeah, we're good. But our whole thing was a family. And it's very fun. Like I said, very fun because we were all competitive. So every practice and every game, it was, let's see who could, let's see what we got. Let's see who can kind of like do better than the other. But at the same time, just keep in mind that we all got jobs to do also.
Yeah, and there just seems to be the constant of all the good teams, whether it be a brotherhood, iron sharpens iron, things like that. So you guys definitely had it in drove, just the way you speak about it. And speaking of people off your team, I'm gonna ask you two questions here. What was you as a defensive back playing on the defense? What offense did you have the most trouble with, or just not like you weren't too fond about going against? And same thing for as a team as a whole. Like which team do you think gave you guys matchup problems, troubles, or a team that you had to prepare extra hard for throughout your career?
Well, honestly, it would be like the same team, pretty much Cal Allen. Going against them, we would see them twice a year. But that's really just Phil Danny, really great coach, and the athletes they got there. It's crazy. That's what a lot of people would get us about. Us getting not being able to get past Cal Allen, but it's not that we weren't. But I feel like with us, it wasn't oh man, like we got to go against them. It was more like, okay, like we're ready for this. We always look forward to them, whether it was the first game of the season, or whether it was the first game of the season, or if we were in the playoffs, that was a team where we knew like this week, everybody, like we all got to really be on it this week, because if we're not, then we can really get hurt. But as far as Valley teams, man, they were all fun. We played against, when we played against Wesleyan, it was, just, Jacob Cavazos is being real athletic quarterback that he is. Honestly, like every team had their player, because again, we were a 5A team going against a 6A team in Wesleyan, and then, week after that, we would, see Nicky Rowe. And, that was when they had Jesus and, Bernard, good athletes over there. In our district, we would see all those games as fun. Like we would, but the one team that, we would really like focus on was Brownsville Veterans, with, Jesus, with with the quarterback they had in Jesus there too. It was just, fun, it was, but that was, I think that's about it though. I really can't remember the, other athletes from the other schools, but the ones we would mainly focus on were those within our district, and of course those athletes from Cal Allen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cal Allen was one of those teams that I guess a lot of the Valley teams look at as a measuring stick, especially in the 5A ranks. They're going to meet them in the playoffs more times than not, especially if you finish high in your district there, But yeah, you mentioned Brownsville Veterans. I believe Gustavo Vasquez is the quarterback you're looking for. He was a running quarterback mostly. It was real hard to game plan. It's funny that you mentioned. I covered a game a couple of years ago, and it was Brownsville Veterans at Mercedes. and it came down to the wire. And Gustavo Vasquez was the quarterback. It seemed like they were going to him every single play. There was no secret what they were going to do. A hard cat to stop, and it was. I believe he was in for the winning touchdown or something like that. I know it came down to the wire, and he ended up making the play. Just it's got to be real frustrating against a guy like that. You know he's going, the ball's going to him, and yeah, it's hard to stop. But you know, they had a big O line that year, and I remember. So yeah, that's a quarterback that I would be frustrated to go against as well.
Yeah, and I kind of remember. I know what play you're talking about because, believe it or not, that play I had I got a little cut over my nose, and it was that was a first down. It was a big play. I think it was a fourth down, and it came down to like we were like I think like 5 minutes left in the game. So they really needed that, they really needed that first down so that way they could, try scoring field goal, scoring a touchdown. Mm-hmm. And, I remember, trying to tell our defensive end, his name was Jose. I was trying to tell, we called him Pepe. I was trying to, yell out to him, hey, come out, widen out more. Cause I had a feeling like at that time, just playing and watching film, I knew like that, a play like that was coming. So I tried telling them, hey, come on, come out, especially because it was towards the weak side. And, or, like the weak side of the defense. And, I just had a feeling I was waiting for something like that to happen. And I tried telling them, come on, scoot out. And I even tried getting our linebackers to scoot out too, so that way they could see it. But then I guess their coach or Gustavo noticed it, and right before, I could tell anybody else anything, and he snapped the ball, and like the play just happened. And I was like, oh man, like I was like, no, like, so I just, try making a play, and he was a very hard to tackle one-on-one. Like I know not many people would able to do that, especially at that time, where you fourth quarter, a lot of people are. And when it comes to him, it felt like, quarters went on, like he got even stronger and stronger as this game went. But yeah, that play ended up trying to earlier in the game. I had a one-on-one tackle on him. He got up and he was laughing. He was like, all right, like, he gave me my props. He was like, oh man, like, dang, good tackle. And then he was kind of the same situation too. If I wouldn't have tackled him, he would either scored or it was gonna be a big play. So he got up laughing, just so at that point of the game, I knew like I really got to make this tackle, not like it's bad, and like that's like I tried to, but the hit, it was pretty good. Like we both met each other, but my helmet ended up coming off. Turned to look, and he's hoping he stumbled, and I was like, oh man, just please fall, someone come clean it up, something. But he ended up getting his balance back and just ran, and that's when our safety came. That's when I think that's about when Ivan came in, hit him and was able to get him, and then everybody, I can't remember if they pushed, if he was able to bring him down or if he was able just to hold him up long enough just for someone else to come in. But that play I remember only because of that. But it was, after the game, I was like, oh man, like, like I was feeling bad, but I, at the end of the day, it was just, a 50-50 play, anything could have happened at that point. But yeah, that was that was a really fun game too, though, because I know our offense, that game still came down to the wire. We tried throwing, Hail Mary, but not gonna lie, there was a little bit of defensive pass interference, but that wasn't called, so we just take it. We just like, okay.
Yeah, man. Well, the move past the high school. You did go play at Iowa Wesleyan. Say you're not gonna go back, but you did have you played 8 games there, correct?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
You played 8 games, and you had 43 total tackles of 34 solo. An interception for a touchdown. You led in tackles, pass breakups, and you were second in interceptions, and you almost earned yourself an all-conference selection. Not bad for 8 games played. Man, just talk to us about your time there. How was it? What was the learning curve there for you coming into to the college level when it came to football?
Yeah, well, it's really like the way I would describe it is, as a job. You know, especially because as soon as you wake, we would have morning workouts at about 5 in the morning, so we'd have to be up early, go through our workouts. Then after our workouts, go back, shower, eat, try to get some breakfast, and then go to class. And during the days we would have our meetings, defensive meetings, offensive meetings. Then we would have our position meetings, later on. Um, but it was at first at first it was kind of hard, just to adjust to everything, because going from not only going from high school to college, but also going from Texas to at first, it was kind of tough, but after a while, once I got into my schedule, into the whole just of things, getting comfortable with the guys, just making friends, going to class. It was after a while that I settled in, and I would say for me, it got easy. I was able to get on the dean's list a couple of these past couple years. So it was pretty challenging at first, but then once I settled in, it was pretty easy and pretty fun too.
Mm. Well, that's awesome, man. I mean, like I said, unfortunately, it's unfortunate you won't go back, but at least you, like I said, you got on the dean's list. You played some games, and then you almost, like I said, almost got yourself some hardware and almost made yourself an all conference player. So congratulations
Yeah,
to actually be able to do that. Not a lot of people are gonna go and do that at all, So just want to reach out. Congratulations to
yeah.
you, man. And I hope you're doing well now.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I am, but like I still still talk to the guys. I still talk to my coaches. They're real unfortunately real bummed out because the whole thing going on. Learned that our conference pushed the games back to the spring, so everybody's like, oh man, it's gonna be a long fall, because there's not gonna be any football going on. But I told them now, like, y'all are gonna, like, it's the stuff will get a lot better, especially with not only y'all getting that extra time to get ready, y'all still gonna be able to practice and stuff. I think they'll still be able to practice, but I just told those tell the guys, hey man, y'all are gonna be fine. Coach Daniels, this is his first season this last season, and Coach Daniels they got a lot of things going in the right direction over there in Iowa, and I'm real happy for the guys. I'm real happy for the team, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how they do it during the season. And it's just like I said, the reason why I can't go back, is financial reasons. It's just a little bit too much right now, especially with all this going on. So I decided, I want to, just take a year off. Hopefully, still be working out, and I hopefully still talk to coaches. I've been in contact with a few. I still, like I said, still kind of in contact with Coach Daniels there now, Wesleyan. And if I give go back, get the chance, I'll definitely go back. If not, then it's fine. If I get another opportunity somewhere else, then I'll be able to go and just see how that goes. But for now, I'm just just trying to stay here and save some money up and get ready. Keep my body ready because I know anything can really happen. But other than that, yeah, it was really good, really fun experience. Especially with knowing that I almost, like I said, I almost had our conference, almost got second team our conference. But when the coach called me into the office, he was after the selections came out, he had told me, he was like, yeah, his name the other corner, Jaheim, really good, really great player too. He's like, yeah, you're just pass breakup short and the interception short, because that's what he had. And I said, okay, like, he's like, yeah, I'm sorry. And I was like, nah, I wasn't sad about it. I had just told him, coach, we're playing the 8 games, playing 8 games and doing what I was able to do. So so you ain't got to really be sorry about it. Like it's fine, like that's just me starting, it's me kind of like a beginning point, learning point from there. So, just know like next season it's gonna be a little bit different. You're gonna have a more more motivated player than what I than I already was. And he just looked at me, smiled, and said, "All right, well, man, can't wait to see it. Then let's just get back to work." So I was like, "Yeah, so that's fine." But again, I really appreciate that. For those guys up there, I really looking forward to seeing what they're gonna be able to do. Because man, they're like I guess it's like a second family for me too. There is a bunch of great friends, really great people up there.
Yeah, awesome, man. And like we're really hoping that you're able to go back eventually, man. So good luck to you during this year, man. And just take care out there, and watch over your family and everything, man. Do what you got to do. So, but I want to thank you for coming on with me, man, and giving me some of your time this afternoon.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me out here too.
Just everybody, thank you for watching. That's going to do it here. The Sideline Sit Down, the 5 o'clock show. I just want to thank my guest once again, Raul Arteaga, for coming on and talking to us a little bit about his journey in football and whatnot, and his time at Mercedes. And y'all just keep it here on Real Sports Live. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Live, Roku TV and Apple TV. You'll be able to watch our live streaming content, whatever other content we have, and also our re-airs of previously recorded stuff we have. So keep it here at Real Sports Live. Y'all have a great afternoon, and Raul, thank you once again, man.
Thank you.